Hello, beautiful souls. So we're on day 5 of 111 of sharing your authentic, real, raw energy and frequency. It is Saturday today. Got my home set up. You can see my stability ball and my rebounder back there. Kind of keep that in the living space. My beautiful plants, my lights, my candles are lit, my flowers. Buy yourself some flowers. So I have no idea what's going to come through today. I've not really thought about it. I've really gotten any major let's talk about this. So it's just probably going to be some random rambling. Oh my gosh. Has anyone else been tripping over their tongue during this retrograde? I have a lot. For sure. And not that the retrogrades are a bad thing. All right. Sorry, I'm fixing my ring. It's going to make me crazy. All right. So I talked real quick. I had a short video yesterday on grounding. So making sure you're getting your grounding in. So another way to ground, I think to mention is, again, having those elementals in the house, whether that be your crystals, your stones, your rocks, your leaves, excuse me, your feather. Apparently my throat chakra's gonna go off a little bit. Like I said, water, root vegetables. I just finished a soup for lunch, some oats, like a pumpkin bread that I've made. So I know maybe I'll just be all over the place. So I guess I'll start with anyone that's tracking signs and synchronicities and key codes. I'll share the ones that have come for me today. So we'll give you numbers that just came in this morning. So a couple of things through just different channels that I thought that I wanted to write down. Dimensional river. So either dimensional and or river or both. Upgrades. Promotions, advancement, timeline, new timeline. So 1111, 1122, 133, 1040, 122, 4422, 1033, 1122. Billionaires, that came in. I don't know what that came in, but that's written down from yesterday evening. Sacred transformation, I had channeled, automatic wrote sacred transformation, light language. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe might be something you might need to watch. Magic, and I Am the Light. So the other two movies that were presented to me yesterday, and like I said, my clairaudience and my visuals come through a lot of music and movies and videos. So 50 First Dates, The Notebook, Sweet Home Alabama. I think those were so I watched 50 First Dates yesterday, rewatched it at 4:44. I noted that. So 50 First Dates. So there might be some information in there that you need to listen to. It might be a key code and or sign and synchronicity for your present moment. There was, key codes. I'm just going to rattle the things that stuck out to me to note yesterday was sailboat, sailing, October 13th, which was really interesting because the accident she was in was October 13th, and I never really paid attention to that date before, and that's actually the day before my birthday. So 92, so there was a football scene, a very quick one, where I caught 92 on the jersey, which equals 11, and then the next jersey number I saw was 11, which is 1111. Football might mean something. Elephants, lilies, sea serpent, woodpecker, No Doubt, the song No Doubt underneath it all. So again, just maybe some of those catch your ears or your attention that maybe you need to kind of check into. Hibiscus flower, I wrote down woodpecker again for the second time. 376, pink, gold field, 1071. Wouldn't It Be Nice by the Beach Boys, full moon, first kiss, 1808. Let's see, the song, I think, Will You Marry Me, maybe? I'm wondering what that is. I put down Will You Marry Me from that. That was from a scene, so maybe the song Will You Marry Me. I think there's a song on that. Elephants, I said that already, I think, but again, the first kiss, number 44. All right, when your soul knows, your soul knows. So it's just some signs, synchronicities, and key codes for my journaling this morning and yesterday afternoon. I'm going to watch a movie today. I wanted to watch The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe because that came through as a possible informational center, but it looks like the only access to it is the Disney Channel. Unfortunately, I don't have that. So I think I'll probably watch Sweet Home Alabama today and just, pineapple. Tom Petty and pineapple. So again, I just write stuff down. It might be relevant now. It might be relevant for you to look into. It might be relevant in a week or two and you'd be like, oh, where did I hear that? I mean, I've had that for videos where it's like, oh, that's why I save a lot of stuff and I folder stuff up. It's Facebook, Instagram, or even YouTube. I have folders because it's like sometimes you might not hit you right there, but you'd be like, oh shit, where did I hear that? I heard it like, days or weeks ago. 5:44 on the clock. So again, I don't know what today's going to be about. Like, I have no plan. Like I said, this is just being real, raw, messy, and authentic here. Sharing my energy and frequency. On the sofa before I decide, I think I might put my PJs back on. I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty cloudy here today. Warm, but cloudy. Our weather here in Michigan is kind of all over the place sometimes. Excuse me, I did a workout this morning. I don't think I'm going to take a walk or anything. And maybe I'll pull an oracle card before we go too. I wanted to do that a couple of days and I just haven't got to it. So I think maybe we'll just pull an oracle card before I'm done if I don't forget. If I forget, that means it wasn't meant to be. So okay, we'll go there real quick. So I ran out. I went out to get a couple of things and I forgot to stop someplace. But again, did I really forget or was I just not really supposed to go there today? Okay. So just remember that. Or before entering one of the stores I went to, I was given music to listen to. So I did not rush into the store. I listened to the music. When I got home, I was sent another video to listen to. Epic. Today is this frequency and energy has been really high this week. I don't know about how you've been feeling. My sleep hasn't been great, but the energy and frequency, something shifted. Like, I know something shifted with me. I don't know if something shifted with you or not. Okay. I'd be curious to know, so just comment below so everyone can like share. And, we're all here to share all of that stuff, And own your unicorn. Own being your unicorn. Your rainbow energy, that's been here. Lots of rainbows, unicorns energy all week. Very high energy, high frequency. For sure. So that's why I meant grounding is super duper important. If you've noticed a change or a shift, you might need to ground your energy more. And I gave you some tips the other day. Again, hug a tree, put your feet in the dirt, breathe, close your eyes, eat some grounding food, use some grounding essential oils, hold some grounding stones. Mentally ground yourself with Gaia. All of those things, okay? So, yeah, that's that on those signs, synchronicities, and key codes. It doesn't feel like a whole lot wants to come through today. I will maybe talk about food real quick, about nourishment on this journey. I talked about detoxification the other day, and you might want to use some herbs and things like activated charcoal to help you while you detox. So I've had some major throat chakra activation a week ago, and then I had a major breakout here. I told you that I've had a lot of breakouts on my crown chakra, on my entire head, on and off consistently for about a month. So my crown chakras in third eye have been expanding for sure. And then I'm also detoxing because of the breakouts. So breakouts are detox. Okay, your skin is your largest organ and you're going to see detox symptoms there first, more than likely. Hives on and off. I've been getting the hives. That's been part of my upgrade and transition and part of my symptoms during this journey. A few years ago, I went and saw all of the doctors, and they're, again, if you're seeing all the doctors and they're not being able to diagnose you with something, more than likely you have an upgrade and activation and or ascension symptoms. That's probably what it is. So it's just using things like plant and nourishment and nutrition to help you with that. The other thing I want to talk about is honor your body, listen to your body, talk to your body, have a conversation, meditate with your body, and see what it wants, needs, and is desiring at this present moment. I highly recommend that you get off of the ultra processed frankenfoods, the science. experiments. Okay? Super important. Super duper important. Now more than ever. Those will keep you toxified and gunked up. And then your body going through all of this stuff, it might make it a lot more uncomfortable for you. So again, replacing things, taking things out, but replacing them from other things. And then gradually ease into, oh, I don't know, we got some light codes going on back there. Where are we? Right there. Bouncing off my ball. The sun peaked for a second there. That's not a coincidence. Source does that once in a while. I've noticed. Like, it's like cloudy, cloudy, cloudy. It's not going to be sunshine. Then all of a sudden the sun decides to come out. So again, we know that's not a coincidence. And it kind of reflected off the stability ball. So nourishment is super important. Again, your meals don't have to look like 3 standard meals a day. It can look different every single day. And the types of food can be different every single day. We need to quit being so hung up like I was for years. And that was part of my control and part of the healing I needed to do for me personally, is needing to 1-1-1-1 on the timer. Hello, those codes have been all over. And especially, and then those codes are for many things, but divine union is one of the biggest ones that's associated with, for sure. So just keep that in mind. You might resonate with that particular activation. Remember, it's not the pink fluffy stuff. It's an activation. Being on the twin soul journey is an activation. Okay? And it's a ride. But you signed up for it. That's what your journey is for that, okay? And that's typically, from my understanding, that's in every incarnation. That's what your contract is. Okay? You are 2 of 1. You are one soul that split itself off, the essence of your higher self, your oversoul, that split itself off and incarnated in 2 separate physical vessels. Especially now more than other. Typically in the past, from my understanding, is one would incarnate and the other would be more like a guide. And I think more now than ever that both aspects, both frequencies are incarnate now, because they hold a divine frequency. They hold a divine blueprint for that. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Yeah. Just, I don't think that's the day to go down to that rabbit hole. But from my understanding as well, as you share the same frequency. Like, everyone can resonate on similar frequencies, but when it comes to that particular frequency, you share and vibrate at the same frequency. Okay? Enough on that. So maybe someone needed to hear that. So back to the nutrition. Hydration, we talked about water, purified water, add salts, add minerals, fruit, eat the fruit, go fruit crazy on it. Eat as much fruit as possible through the day. Nourish yourself with oats and soups and stews and different things like that. If you're eating meat, that's fine. But if your body's telling you to maybe eat higher quality meat, like no lunch meat, no ultra processed foods, that's garbage. That's not even food. Like, if you're doing like whole food chicken and turkey and beef and things like that, and just be mindful. But if your body's telling you that you need to change it up or reduce it or change the types of meat, for me personally, that might be another video. My whole rodeo when things changed for me, when I became aware and awake to nutrition. And it didn't necessarily start in the healthiest way, but it was part of the journey and part of the learning and part of the healing. So I'm just going to specify hydration, nourishment, okay? When you nourish your body and your body's getting enough of the right vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, you will not crave that crap. You won't. It'll be gross. It'll be like gross. It'll be like, oh, gross. Ugh, I don't want that, you know? And using things like activated charcoal to help pull those toxins out. So your detox symptoms won't be as aggressive, okay? And be mindful of that, okay? Sometimes you know, people that go from a standard American ultra processed diet and they go into fasting or detoxing, holy hell, do not fucking do that. Don't do that. You got to take it easy, okay? It's one step at a time. You can't go from 0 to 100. We all like to. Even in this journey, we'd like to go from 0 to 100, right? instead of enjoying the processes that have to take place in between to get from here to here, or from here to here, whatever you want to look at, okay? So just keep that in mind. I cannot specify that enough with any person I'm working with that's going from ultra processed foods to a whole food base, or even more whole foods. You got to be mindful. And here's the thing, people. You can, if you're holding on to excess weight, toxicity, basically toxins get stored in your fat cells, more than likely you start changing and transitioning your nutrition protocol, you can lose that pretty rapidly. Okay. Without any excessive exercising or things like that. Just do some gentle walking and things like that. The other thing that people do not understand when it comes to holding all that extra weight on their body, outside of it being toxicity and the physical, you're also energetically, you physically can, thank you, I will, don't let me forget that, okay. You can hold on to weight in an energetic sense, an emotional sense. Like if you have unhealed trauma at any time through your life, more than likely that can be a hindrance, or it's going to create a bigger struggle if you're trying to detoxify and or reduce your body fat on your physical body. Remember, you are not fat. You are just holding on to these excess toxins and toxic emotions, poisons, things that in your environment that you've been injected with and you're consuming, and that you're putting all of your body, all of, like, that's like overload. Like your poor system, your poor human physical vessel, your avatar just can't keep up with it anymore. It really can't. And as part of these ascension symptoms, these detox symptoms, you're going to notice it, you're going to get more and more uncomfortable, and your physical body is going to make you more and more uncomfortable. 1717 on the clock. All right. So the question is, how far down the hole do you have to be? Do you have to be completely at the darkest depths of the pit before you decide to start crawling yourself out? Or again, how far? Okay. Every day, every moment, every choice, everything's a choice. So you can start now. You don't wait till Monday. You don't wait till New Year's. You don't do all that bullshit. You start tonight. You start tomorrow. You start your next meal. Okay? You hydrate right now. Let's take a drink of water. Let's take a drink of water. Okay, so I was reminded to mention that not only sharing my symptoms currently, and I've just learned to ride it and not let it affect my mental health, you know, like I used to. Like my weight fluctuations, I check it, but I don't attach myself to it. I haven't attached myself to, I catch myself sometimes, like where my ego's trying to attach itself to that number. But for the most part, I can get by that like within a flash. So the one thing I do notice, and I have noticed over the last couple years, but definitely for this year, consistently, that through any major upgrades, activations, downloads, astrological events, stuff going on out there that I don't, the astrology and all that I don't really get all the time, my weight will definitely go up about 2 to 5 pounds. Consistently. This has been on and off for a year, and then it'll come down or it'll drop rapidly and then come back up. I have a pretty homeostatic weight that my body's been really like just wants to hang out at. But within that 2 to 5 pounds, kind of like when a woman cycles. You know, if you don't know this, you average 2 to 7 pounds on average, right? When it comes around your cycle, right? So same concept. And I have personally noticed that it starts going up and then I'll hold on to it. And my food, like I said, that doesn't matter how much food I eat or not eat. Like there'd be days where I eat like very little, but my weight will go up. Okay, so there's just more water retention. Your cells are holding on to the nourishment for this process because your body is actually physically going through a transmutation inside itself. So outside of the the spiritual aspect of it, like the energetic aspect of it, on those transformations, your internal physical body is also going through this transmutation as well while you're embodied during this ascension. Okay, so your body might hold on to more water, more nourishment. It might decide to hold on to a little more fat, for like a safety mechanism. Just keep that in mind. Again, don't get yourself attached to the number on the scale. Okay, especially if you're really kind of doing it all right and you're just rolling with it, don't let it, because let me tell you, 2 to 5 pounds, that has been very common for this year for me. But again, it always kind of, the homeostasis, my body likes it finds its homeostasis, it likes its comforts, within, like I said, in one direction or the other. Okay, so don't let that freak you out. So I was guided to talk about that a little bit. And again, don't attach yourself to the number on the scale. So I think that's all that feels like that I'm supposed to talk about. So again, if I'm feeling called to talk about something later, I will. My team has been kind of like silent for a few days, and I don't know if they're just like getting me to pay attention to my like own intuition, and it could be the retrograde. I think that might be well established as well. If you've got a team, if you're like really open and you know your team really well, I know my team. It's hard to explain that. Mine's more an intuition. I don't really see them or hear them typically. Again, they channel through other vessels and things to get information to me at this time, where you might have a different relationship with your team. I feel them. I have different signs and signals when it comes to the physical body and my clairsentience. But yeah, so anyways, even like using my pendulum to get like a yes or no, it's like so that might mean they're off doing something, getting stuff done, wanting me to pay attention more to my intuition and or because of the retrograde. I think in the last retrograde that I've noticed that they've gone silent like a few times just to get little extra confirmations of yes or no's and things. They've become silent throughout this process, They just do. So that might be relevant to somebody at this present moment. Okay. So on that note, let's pull a couple of oracle cards. I don't know, a couple. We'll see what comes out. Oh, let me fit my ta-ta. Oh, but my PJ's on. So this is, again, we'll pull from the Moonology Oracle deck. Maybe I'll pull a couple of tarot cards. I don't know at this point. So, all right. All right. Take a couple deep breaths here. All right, Source, Mother, Father, Team. What does the collective need to see here, now, in this present moment, for their highest and best good, through unconditional love, through divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, and divine wisdom? Please and thank you. Let's see what decides to come out. And I'll let you guys go. And then I'm going to go hang out. Probably put my PJs on and just get a piece of chocolate and watch a movie. And see what comes through there. Because like I said, I get a lot of channeled messages and informations and hits and intuitive insight when I'm watching or rewatching movies. Do we have anything? Anything today? And even with the cards, I've noticed it's a little, it's shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right, I was gonna say I was gonna just pick if I had to. So, haha. So we got that beautiful imagery there. Any of that resonates with you guys? Take a look. It says, clear your mind. Last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. And we're going to take bottom of the deck because this one has come up a lot for me. So be proud of yourself. Be proud of how far you've come. All right. Sometimes it's easier for us to be so proud of other people, but we don't give ourselves enough credit. And I had an intuitive reading earlier this year, and it was part of an activation for me to give myself more credit for all the shit and hard work and everything I've done in the healing and all of it. So maybe you need to just be proud of yourself. It's really hard sometimes for us to give ourselves credit on that, okay? Sure, it's great, but it's not great. It makes me crazy sometimes. So this is the Light Seer Tarot, and this is really interesting. Sacred Algorithm is pretty cray-cray. So I've been using this deck since I've got it. I had the small deck, and then I got the regular cards, the regular size cards. Now almost all my tarot readers that I follow and resonate with, all the reads that I've seen in the last few days since I've been using this tarot deck, Nine of Pentacles there on the split, and the Three of Swords. So Three of Swords on the split, Nine of Pentacles. So anyways, they've been using their Light Seer Tarot. That's always fun. Like, it happened like once, and I thought, oh, well, that's cool. Then it's happened like almost every day. Something comes up with me seeing that. So, all right, we got anything for the collective on this? Queen of Wands. I just love this. This came up. This is amazing. I love this. She's lit up. This is how I have felt pretty much for like this whole week. This is my energy. I feel like the Queen of Wands energy for sure. All right, let's do 2 more, please, Spirit. Let's just do 3 today, since I was called to pull this for some reason. Again, I might not have a lot of talking, but sometimes other messages need to come through in other ways, shapes, and forms. All right, do we have any? Okay, 6 of Swords. I'll read 2 out of the book, okay? So 6 of Swords. All right. There's many different interpretations. You know, you have your basic tarot, so you can see if any of that resonates with you with the 6 of Swords energy. Eight of Swords in reverse. So it's, again, thinking that you're bound, or you are bound, and now you are free. All right. And then the motherfucking Magician is on the bottom of the deck. My swearing offends you? No apologies. It's swearing. I'm not swearing at you. I'm just swearing. So, the motherfucking Magician. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to read those 4 cards and see what we got and see if any of it resonates, and then I'll let y'all go and get myself all cozy and get the hell out of here. So let's see here, since the lighting in here is always not aggressive. So we got Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands, Queen of Wands. Creativity, passion, determination, confidence, joy, bold expression, helping others as you build your queendom power. So that's the energy I have personally been feeling since the 11/11 portal. Probably since that activation since last Sunday. I fill my world with intense light that connects and incites passions. So that's, like I'm telling you, that's the energy I have felt for myself personally all week. 6 of Swords. And been completely unapologetic. Completely unapologetic about it. 6 of Swords. And it is transitions, helping, arriving at the perfect time. All right, so it's transitioning and help arriving at the perfect time. Your help is arriving. Your help is arriving at the perfect time. Rite of passage, healing, moving beyond the trauma and or shadows of the past, support from others, personal evolution, and spiritual transition of your journey. So it's your rite of passage, which most of us have been through. I accept help as I easily cross this transition, which is interesting that this came up against what I wrote in my journal from the message this morning, which was about the sacred river, I think it said. All right, so we've got 8 of Swords in reverse. 8 of Swords in reverse. What's that? Being a victim, feeling helpless, using your stories or your past experiences to excuse experiences as an excuse to remain shackled. All right. So are you keeping yourself attached to your stories? Remember, you aren't your story. You aren't your name. You're not your skin color. You're none of that, okay? So maybe you need to release the hold you have on your stories. I've got stories, believe me. I could attach myself to those stories, but I don't. I let that shit go a long time ago. So somebody might need to let go of the death grip they have on their stories. Remember? All right, we're going to read the Magician here. The Magician, and the Magician is the number 1 card. The Magician. Magician. The magic. I'm telling you, the magic has been crazy this week. The unicorn magic, the rainbow magic, all of that frequency and energy. Skills, natural talents, powers of manifestation and creativity, resourcefulness. I can manifest the life I desire through energy and action. And yes, you can. So, all right, you guys, that's it for me today. You guys have a great day. 3101 on the clock. Talk to you soon. Love ya. Bye.